Yo, what's up? This is your boy B to Bhillz. This is Bhillz live from the basement, brought to you by Worldwide Collaborations and Quality Music Management. We got special guest today, Armani Rose. So go ahead and tell the people, start with where you're from, and tell the people a little bit about you. People just not getting familiar with you and stuff like that.
Armani Rose. I am a female MC,
We got special.
Texas, coming straight from the heart of the South for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I've been rapping now for about 6 years. I'm about to drop my third project. That will be coming up. It'll be ready 420. I'm a 420 baby. My birthday's April 23rd, so I always try to do it big for 420 weekend.
So what part of Texas are you from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas. Yeah, I'm from
Where
Dallas.
your phone's kind of breaking up.
I say,
Okay.
yeah, I'm from Dallas,
Yeah, I was
Texas.
born. I was born in Fort. Yeah, I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, and then I grew up in Houston. But I'm in St.
Okay,
Louis now. But yeah,
right.
so major shout
So
outs to
so here's
Texas.
what's crazy. Here's what's
So,
crazy. Like there's about 25 miles in between Dallas and Fort Worth, but they're like completely different
hmm
cities. We rock and we show a lot of love to each other, but the whole vibe and feeling of the cities are completely different.
yeah. So what was it that when was it that you decided that you wanted to felt like you had a passion towards music?
So I've always been musically inclined. I grew up playing the violin actually and writing music. And then about 15 years ago, I noticed that there was a big gap in the support and the love that like our Dallas OGs and stuff had. So I started researching why and what was going on. And actuality, they didn't really have a paperwork. Like they didn't know about copyrights and publishing, trademarks, things like that. They didn't know about getting samples cleared, like none of that stuff. So I first got involved on the
Yeah.
business aspect, just trying to help my OGs get to their checks, bro, because it was like a lot of money left on the floor. A lot of our money, our music was being stolen, our dances, like it was just a crazy time. So that's how I first jumped in the scene out here in Dallas. Was on the business end of the music aspect.
So when was it that you decided that you wanted to become an artist yourself? Because usually a lot of times, so I'm trying to get my fucking mic right, but a lot of times, like we see a lot of artists that come in and then they transition to the business side of it. But what made
Yeah.
you, come in as a manager and the business side transition to an actual artist?
Right. So like I ghost write. So I was already dealing with like a lot of female artists in Dallas on that aspect. And I just saw a void. Like I'm not the typical female rapper. Like I'm don't do no twerking. Like it's cool. If you look at my story and you look at my videos, I have girls that do that. I'm just not really that type of chick. I'm more on the classier aspect of rapping. And then I came through a time when like we had a variety of female artists and it's just not that no more. Like it's a cookie cutter type of female artist. And I just wanted to show everybody that it's still a market for the type of music that I do.
So
So I started rapping about six
so
years ago.
whenever you were growing up and like you said, like there was like a lot of different female artists and stuff, and especially the the way that the female artists approach the songs is a lot different because it used to be like with Eve, what I mean, like
Right.
Missy Elliott, you had like all like they were serious, you know what I mean,
Yeah, because like
like
even Erica Badu rap, like Erica Badu would get on that
or
mic and
Lauren
burn that
Hill.
mic up. You had Lauren Hill, you had Lady
Yeah.
of Rage. I mean, if you wanted to get raunchy though, you had Lil Kim, you had Kaya. You know what I mean? So it just we had somebody for whatever mood and energy you were in at that time. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to take female back to that. You had Queen Latifah, like the roster was long. The roster was long.
So
And
what?
it
So
wasn't a
out of all the
competition
ones,
thing, it was more
so
unity.
who was your the female rapper, or not even female rapper, but what
No,
rapper was it that
I'll say
really
so.
inspired
My
you?
favorite female rapper of all time is Shauna from Disturbing the Peace. Yeah, y'all might have to Google that
All
one.
right.
Shauna from Disturbing the Peace and
Yeah.
Diamond from Crime Mob. Those are my two actual favorite female rappers. My favorite male artist though is Pimp C, hands down. Pimp C.
Yeah, Pimp C. Yeah, major shout out. Rest in peace, Pimp C.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Rest in peace.
So
Yeah.
so what do you feel about the music scene in Dallas? Do you feel like does Dallas get the love that they deserve in the music scene?
I feel like yes and no. There's a lot of people that are behind the scenes in the Dallas music industry that are making big waves, doing big things, and they just do it quietly. You know what I mean? I mean, Jay White
Yeah.
is one of the biggest producers in, and he come from Dallas, Texas. You know what I mean? DeRoe is in the skybox at the Cowboys game, and he born and bred Dallas, Texas. So there are quite a few artists here that are doing very, very, very big things just quietly. As far as the independent circuit goes, we still got a long way to go because we got all the talent, but like a lot of people still don't have their paperwork together. So they'll get to their radio and unfortunately it gets dead in the
Yeah.
water because they can't get it cleared. So like we still perish for the lack of knowledge in Dallas.
Yeah. So we got my co-host Young Tizzy here with us too. Young Tizzy, this is Armani Rose. She's
Hey,
from
what's up?
Dallas.
What's going on? Dallas in the building.
For
I'm
sure.
backstage listening to you, admiring all your successful moves that you making.
Thank you, thank you.
We
Appreciate
definitely
that.
appreciate you taking your time out.
I just appreciate it, bro, because it's like I was telling them earlier, they were like, Armani, your interview starts at 5. But I'm in Central Standard Time. So somebody had to hit me and they was like, Armani, the flyer say EST girl. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be late. You know what I mean? But like I appreciate it because it gives me a chance to be in front of an audience that I wouldn't even be able to reach without this platform. So thank y'all.
Yeah, for
For
sure, for
sure, for
sure.
sure.
So
So
what
what
are some
inspires you to do what you do?
I didn't hear you what you say.
What inspires you to do what you do?
Um, Really just my adversities and everything that I've been through. Like that gives me the information. The music have always been like, I don't know how y'all do it, but like in the South, music plays such a big part of our life. Like even when we were little, I remember times when like we cleaning up, mama gonna put on some music, we're gonna open them windows, we finna clean up the whole house on Saturday. We go to the washing area, you know what I'm saying, the laundromat, and people playing music in there. You might hear Spanish music in there, you might hear African music. So like it's just there's nowhere you can go in Dallas where it's music and food. Like that's our thing down here in the South.
hell yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Facts, facts, facts.
So it's not a
So
time
what are
where
some
I don't have a memory that didn't involve music from the time that I was little.
so what kind of music did you listen to whenever you were little? Like what do you remember listening to when y'all were cleaning the houses and stuff?
So both of my parents were very, very, very vocal with music. It was a big part of their life. They had lots of friends that were in different bands and things like that. So I grew up with a lot of live instruments. Like my dad played the guitar, you know what I mean? So like I can remember people coming to our house and they actually having jam sessions and everything. So a lot of funk music, a lot of percussion. I mean, and then like I said, I grew up playing the violin. I started playing the violin when I was like 7. So I was very, very
Oh yeah,
exposed to classical music, yeah, from an early age, reading sheet music, like yeah.
that's
And then
cool.
of
So
course,
so what
church,
are
yeah.
so what are some songs that you got out? Like what are some like people that listen to and they want to kind of get a taste for your music? What would be some songs you recommend them go listen to right now?
So of course, if you listen to my early music, it sounds different than my later music. You know, it's growth. It's always growth and development. Um, my earlier music, it was more of let me really show y'all who I am. Let me really introduce Armani Rose to you. Now I'm at the point of I'm having fun with it. Like I can go in the studio,
Yeah.
I found me. So it's not so much of a pressure of, oh, I gotta go hard on this track. Like I'm just really enjoying it. It's my sessions are laid back, it's fun now. So you can hear the difference in that. A lot more of my music now is more party style, club type music. versus at first it's just all about that message. Like I got a story to tell you. Let me
Yeah,
give you this message. Yeah.
So
for
if
sure.
Armani Rose wasn't doing music, what would you be doing?
I mean, we all gotta live, we all gotta survive. Armani Rose can't just do music all the time anyway. Um, I have children. My husband is also an OG in the rap game, so like my life is full throttle all the time, even when I'm not on screen. I still help a lot of artists with their copyrights, though. That's my first love is making sure that we stop getting robbed because like we've been getting our music stolen from us ever since we've been putting it on wax. Like it's a million unsungs. You know what I mean? It's a million TLCs in the hood. It's a million boys to men in the hood. So like that's my number one goal is to just help us level up and get our business together. You know.
So how do you feel social media has helped you with your music career?
I mean, if you do have all your copyrights and your paperwork good, your back end is good, it all adds to your check. Like I love that. I love that. Streaming is such a small part of our income, but people place so much emphasis on it because it's numbers that they can see. But like I get a bigger check from Facebook than I do from streaming my music. I get a bigger check from TikTok than I do from, you know what I mean? So for me, it's been a blessing of really being able to be fully independent. Because as an independent artist, you have to do everything that a record label would do for you. And the internet's definitely made that very much easier.
Facts,
Yeah.
facts, facts.
Yeah. And I love it because I can reach people on the other side of the world without even having to leave out of my house. Like that's dope. When my husband first started rapping in Dallas, they was out they trunk. They was having to press up CDs. They was having to press up the covers. They was having to shrink wrap the CDs. They was having to drive, pop the trunk, convince somebody to buy it. Like that beating that concrete, it was a way, way harder hustle than what we have it today.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, it's real watered down because it's such an easier way, because it used to, because how people, they can just go and download apps and go in the bathroom and make a rap album.
Right.
Like back
Well,
whenever you're talking about where they had to
I've
actually
noticed that
invest in it.
I've noticed that when it comes to artist development, like a lot of these artists, like yeah, they good as far as the internet goes and their persona on the internet, but when it comes to them doing real shows, live shows, they don't know how to hold a mic. They don't know about reverb. They don't know
Hmm.
about interacting with the crowd. So it's like that human emotion is missing because they so used to being behind that keyboard, behind that phone.
Yeah, I definitely agree with it, and I think that it's kind of making the music not as good because everybody's just putting compressors and all the music's so flat now. Whenever you listen to them old songs with people and it's natural. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
bouncing, it sounds real, and it what I mean has more feeling to it. You know what I mean? Than like
I was just arguing with one of my
you
kids. I was
know.
just arguing with one of my kids because he was like, "Mama, why do you still spend money and go to the studio when all you got to do is record on BeatStars?" And I'm like, "Bro, on BandLab or whatever." And I'm like, "It's not the same
Yeah,
thing, son. Like, I'm not punching in.
it's
Like, I don't
not.
knock anybody for it, but like, I'm really still taking the time to write
Yeah,
my stuff out. So it's like it don't work like that for me. Like the sound, I can hear that the sound is not the same. If you have a trained ear, you can hear that they're not even taking the
yeah,
time to mix and master their songs anymore. So for me, it's like, how much longevity do you feel like your song is gonna have? And you're not even putting that extra time
yeah.
and effort into it. So,
Because
and I learned the hard way.
even when you do use
DJs won't play it, the radios can't play it. So like you limiting yourself by taking that engineer out the picture.
and
Yeah.
even when you do use BandLab, you still have to take those vocals off and send them over to studio so they can mix and master. So it's
A
still
lot of
levels
artists skipping
to,
that step
like
right
you said.
now. Yeah, a lot of artists skipping that step right now,
Yeah.
real bad. Yeah.
But the thing that
I'm
is
one
good
of
about
them.
those apps though is that they make it where like you can learn how to get into a studio. You know what I mean? So like if you start off doing that, then you could figure it out through there. So you know what I mean? You could actually one day be able to get in a studio. So it's kind of like a baby step in order to
See, I
become
use
it.
it. I
Yeah,
use
it's
it as a
definitely
rough
a
draft.
stepping
I
stone.
use it as a means to write. So I'll write my stuff. I'll record it in there. I'll listen to it, and that way I don't spend as much money in the studio. When I go in that studio, I'm ready. I know exactly what I'm gonna do because I've done it 4 or 5 times in band lab already as rough draft. So that's what I use it for.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what's the best platform for people to get a hold of you?
So I'll first of all, consistency is key. My name is Armani Rose 214 on every single platform that there is. So whichever one you the most comfortable with, that's the one I'm most comfortable with driving with you on. I don't care which one it is. If you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. If you reach out, I'm gonna reach back. Like I don't be acting brand new. But by far my most popular is Facebook and Big O Live. That's my two most popular platforms. But I'm on everything.
Uh,
What would you say is your biggest, your weakest link, and what would you say is your strongest link?
My weakest link is I'm an older person. So people try to put a shelf life on rap music. I hate that. I hate that. So for me, that's what most people would be. That's not to me, it's not my weakest link. To me, it's my strongest accent because I have a lot of wisdom that a lot of these other artists don't. I'm not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You can't sell me no wolf tickets. And I know exactly what I want out of my career. So that's what makes me stronger. So, they say the same thing that make you laugh or make you cry. So there it is. Yeah.
What do you feel like you need to work on more as an artist?
Actually, like platforms like this, I got to get out of town. It's hard to sell Dallas to Dallas. When I grew up with you, when my granny lived next door to your granny, when I'm standing behind you in the Walmart shopping line, you're not no superstar to me. You just that girl that rap real good. You know what I mean? So I gotta start expanding.
Uh-huh.
It's time for me to get out of Texas. Definitely, like they know me in my state. It's time for me to branch out and get the show on the road.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's important. Like, because since I moved from Texas, I gotten so many more doors open and so much love. It's hard to really, like you were saying, it's hard to make it around people because they don't want to see you as something else. They want to always remember you, always kind of hold you back. Unless you got the right people around you, but
Yeah.
not
And then
everybody got that.
that's the second theme. Like, I have a lot of support, but I don't really have a team. Like I need to get a team in place. I can't do everything by myself all the time. Like it's not realistic. I can't be the A&R and the head of marketing and the manager. And like it's starting to get overwhelming. Like my emotion is starting to get to that point where like I gotta stop joking, like get some real assistance. And then I know I don't know everything, and there is somebody that can do some of this stuff better than me. So like it's time for me to start delegating some of these roles to other people.
So whenever you go in the studio, do you like to approach the song? Do you like to hear the beat first, or do you like to have the lyrics and then find a beat to match the lyrics?
So this is how I do. When I go in the studio, the first thing that I do is record any features that have been sent to me. I already have them written. They're ready to go. Like it's nothing for me to knock out a 16 or 18, 24, whatever it is. So I always do that the first 30 minutes to an hour of my studio session. I block out 4 hours at a time. I have closed sessions, and the other three, I just had them put on whatever beat, and I vibe, and we record, and whatever comes out to that beat, that's what that is. More than likely, though, I'll come back a second time and re-record it after I'm really comfortable with it. But my engineer is really good about bringing out the best in me, and he's very critical, and I love it. I appreciate it. I can take it. So we just jive real well with each other. Yeah, but I have closed sessions. I don't like people coming in rapping on my beats and trying to tell me what I should say right here. And like I hate that shit. I hate it. It'll mess up your whole energy, and you'll be somewhere else with your song that you wasn't at the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah. So with
Hmm.
that being
So,
said, do you feel like it's hard to like are there just like certain people that you can really take criticism from? Like if somebody's like like you said, like pointing out something on the song, or you just kind of like,
Yes, 'cause I would tell
you're
you what's
open
crazy. I
to
am not
anybody.
good at taking criticism from my dude about my songs. I don't
I
know
was
what
just gonna
it is,
say,
bro,
how
but
do
like I
you?
never agree with it. I swear to God, I never agree with his opinion or nothing. He been rapping for like 25 years. He go hard. Like he's
And
a hell of
that,
a lyricist. But I don't even let him be in my sessions. I don't know what it is. We do not vibe about it. But now
that
I
was my
have had
next
him
question
help me
too.
to write. Yeah, I have had
Right.
him help me to write. But as far as him just like criticizing, nah, we gonna fuck hands. And my engineer can say the exact same thing, and I'll be cool.
That was my next question. How do you handle constructive criticism?
Um, I can handle constructive criticism if I know that's what that is.
Now I said, how do you handle it? And you just gave me one reason. You just don't never let them in your sessions.
Yeah.
What
Now my
other ways
husband,
you?
he
What
already
other
know.
ways you handle?
He already knows. Really, unless I just really respect you in that manner, I'm not gonna even listen. I ain't gonna lie. Like I gotta have that kind of rapport and like that kind of understanding, that kind of respect for you, and then I'll listen with an earnest heart and mind. I'll really internalize what you said and think about it, and I just might change. I'm a Taurus too, so I know that don't help.
What are your long term career goals and what are your short term career goals?
I actually trying to get to that TV. That TV is where it's at. There's no age limit on that. I can be Eartha Kitt old. I can be 93. If I can still read and memorize the line, I can get a Colgate commercial. So like
Oh,
that's
well,
my
you
end goal.
you on the right platform
That's
then,
my
because
end
I'm
goal.
actually writing and directing movies.
Really? Okay, then we're gonna have to get together
Yeah,
off
I'm in a
the
couple of
screen.
movies myself.
But eventually, I wanted to do scores and everything for movies. 'Cause I do write and compose classical music. So I eventually want to get back to it.
You ever thought about writing jingles for different companies and stuff
I
like that?
have, like, oh my God, I have. I tell my husband all the time, I need to be like Jamie Foxx. I need to own Super Jams 3000. I just don't know how to get my foot in the door with that, but I have thought about that extensively. Yes.
So good way to to even start off in that is just pick the people that you mess with that support you that have a business, and then you just start with her. Like B Hills, do a jingle for him. Quality music management, do a jingle for your husband. And then as that build, it'll show you the direction. And once people start hearing the ones that you have created with your inner circle, then the outer circle would enjoy it, especially if your music good. Because like I tell people, everything goes hand to hand. Music is art,
Yeah.
music is clothing, music is movies, music is comedy, it goes hand to hand with everything. It's like there's no way to go around it. If you're doing a movie, you're gonna have songs in the movie. If you doing painting art, 9 times out of 10 you listen to some music in the background while you paint. You know what I'm saying? Everything
True.
goes hand to hand.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was telling my kids we listen to like soundscapes and things like that to go to sleep. And I was telling my kids, I'm like, do you know the people that make this music for like yoga and shit? That's who making the most money. Like, imagine what they streams and shit look like. And it's just straight instrumental. No, it's just straight instruments. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's
And
where my
then
heart lies
And
in it.
then
Is my
another thing is those educational little shows for kids, just saying the nursery rhymes, behind y'all beats and behind y'all lyrics is I'm finna start doing that with my son, because he grew up, and he's very smart from listening to those. So I'm like, I might as well start doing it for myself, and that's a way for me to promote myself, my business, and other people like y'all that I come across.
agree. I agree. I was just talking to my youngest daughter about the Gracie Corner cartoon
Yep.
that they. I talk to her about that all the time. I'm like, this little that are rich are flipping these nursery rhymes with the hip hop influence. It's like crazy.
And
So
like I tell myself and others, the blueprint be in our face. We just got to start taking action. Stop really trying to plan and contemplate. Start acting on plans and contemplations. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna show you, if you even good at it. If you gonna like being good at it. You know what I'm saying? Versus, we plot and plan so long. that by the time it's time for us to start doing the plot or the plan, you know what I'm saying? We either too old, something came up, you know what I'm saying? We should have been acting on it while we was thinking of it.
Yeah, life is really life. And so thank you for the advice. I listened. Trust me. I will be replaying this. Trust me, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh no, it goes both ways because, like I say, without you being on the platform, we wouldn't even have the intellectual advice to give to one another. You know, so no one's independent in life. You know, so once we start, you know, surrounding ourselves with those type of enclosement words, you know what I'm saying, we tend to enclose our surroundings in the way we think, the way we talk, the way we act. You know, so we gotta really have our mind open as our mind is open. The mind is an open object. It's not closed minded. When you think, you're not thinking, it's thinking.
Right. Yeah, about that.
What upcoming projects do you got that's coming out that you could talk about, or upcoming events that you go be at, or anything?
Right. So I got a new single about to come out with Bone the Mac. I don't know if y'all put Bone, that's my dog. He had a song on the radio. She told her home girl, you gotta be, do you know how to use it? So me and him about
Yeah,
to
they
drop
about
the
to be
song.
down here.
Yeah, I love him.
I'm
That's
from
my
St.
bro.
Louis.
Show so much love, bro. He's never stopped touring since that song dropped. Like, I gotta get a piece of that action. And then I'm working on another single with a Mississippi artist that's real big on the trail ride scene out there. His name is Blue Mode. So I'm about to integrate the Texas trail ride scene with the Mississippi trail ride scene. That shit's stupid big in the South. Like, oh my God, it's retarded big down here. It's trail riding season. It's about to kick off. So, and then they love me in Shreveport, Louisiana. Like, oh my God, they love me in Shreveport. So I got a couple of shows and stuff set up out there this summer. Of course, I'll be at the South by Southwest in Austin, Texas at the end of March. It never fails. I always pop out there. I'm real tight with a lot of these artists. So I'm sure I'll be out there, J Dog or one of them for sure. So yeah. And I usually throw a real big 420 party for my birthday. I think I want to go to Vegas this year. I think I'm gonna go on and hit Vegas this year. Yeah. Spend somebody else's money. And
Definitely
then,
check out Pin.
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright,
any
so,
artist that reach out to me though, anybody, like I don't be tripping, bro. I'm down to collab as long as you got your together. So we can get to it. Because I have everything. I have everything. It was a hard road, but I have it all, so I'm ready.
That's what's up. So you got any more questions for Young Tizzy? I think your mic's mute.
I know mine keeps going in and
Describe your ideal working environment outside of not having nobody in the studio with you.
So I really would love to do a whole recording session with Jay White. When Jay White did it. Like I gotta get a Jay White beat in. I gotta get a session with bro. Like to me, he's legendary status, and he knows because I reach out to him all the time, and I'm like, I don't want no freebies, none of that. When I come, I'm gonna have my brand right and everything. I appreciate you and your craft, so like, I gotta get it in. He's such a humble dude, like, and I just really appreciate that because like as far as the female rappers go, he's like the go-to producer right now. Like Meg has songs with him, Cardi has songs with him, Sweetie just dropped the song with him. Like he burning up them airwaves. That's who produced Bodak Yellow for Cardi B. So yeah, I gotta get that in with Big Bro.
That's what's up.
And then I need to see my face on one of these Tubi movies, man. I need to see my face on my 7
I got you. I'm gonna definitely lock you in.
That's my end goal. That's my end goal to get to.
Make sure you go follow LaSure TV network. So that's who I'm partnering with. So they're gonna be behind the reason why you get on, those platforms. I'm partnering with them. And, check out Pit Boy Music down there in the Texas area too. Chris Amo Hardaway. So I'm the head
Okay.
and up for that company down there in Texas. So,
Okay.
y'all link up. He down in Houston.
Yeah, I'm in Houston all the time. My vibe in Houston, the Houston OGs have poured so much into me. Like, oh my God, they've had their copyrights together
Yep.
forever. That you know what I mean? Just be
Yeah.
honest, but
Well, because they
he
had
did a lot of them is
because
who.
Jay
Yeah,
Prince
that's
kind
who.
of,
Exactly. He did that. He
you
made
know,
sure, like, if you
you
wasn't
know,
coming out of Houston, you wasn't hollering Houston if you didn't have that back end right. And we just didn't have that in Dallas. We
yeah,
didn't. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate them
yeah.
because they showed me a lot of love and they pushed me in a lot of the directions that I wouldn't even known to go in, as far as getting my copyrights and my, my publishing and everything together. Yeah.
So what would be your advice for like a young artist right now that's looking up to you and stuff, like, what would be your first advice for them to get into the music industry?
Yeah. Use your phone for more than just taking pictures and posting. Like y'all, all y'all gotta do is say, Siri, how do I copyright my music? Siri, how do I make money from my music? Siri, how do I get sync licensing? Siri, I mean, like, it's so damn easy. All you gotta do is ask Alexa. So like, take one question, ask Alexa 5 different ways that same question. Put all those answers together
Mhm.
and utilize that shit. Like, y'all got so much
I
information at
love
y'all's
that.
disposal.
Mhm.
So much information.
Yeah,
So
and people
learn
and
your
they can
craft,
use it.
learn the business.
Yeah,
I tell them when you feeling dumb or you acting dumb, pick up your smartphone.
Let it work for you.
make a good
Like,
commercial.
seriously. Yeah.
That's your automatic free worker. You ain't
Yeah.
gotta.
Mhm.
It ain't
That's
gonna
how
get
I
mad
found
at you
out.
for
Like,
doing the
nobody
work.
gonna just tell you that. Nobody ain't gonna just tell you how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll push
Right.
you in the right direction, but you gotta know how to ask the right questions. And I
Your
just kept
phone ain't gonna
asking
get
them.
mad at you. It ain't gonna contradict the question that you asked or none of that. It's just
It's
gonna
gonna
do
give
what
you
you
the
Yeah.
tell
same
it.
answer the same way every time.
About the
Yeah,
only thing that's loyal in your life.
that's for real. That's for real. So, yeah, y'all youngsters, man, and network. Because you never know who can open a door for you. Like, person. So like, my kids will tell you, I tell everybody, oh hey, I do this, I do this. You can't stand next to me in the grocery store, and I know I rap by the time I leave out of there. You just
Yeah,
never know. Yeah.
Yep.
for sure.
Said, gotta stay ready. Stay ready. You ain't gotta get ready, and always be able to sell yourself at any moment of time. You know what I'm saying? That shot stuff. Make you fall away from the bag. You never know. And like I tell people, somebody always watching. So when
Somebody
you
said
think
the
ain't
people
nobody watching, that's when
least
you
expect.
mainly got the
Yeah,
most
you
eyes
people
on you.
least expect. Yeah, that's it's crazy. We least expect, but like, yeah, I can tell somewhere and people have approached me and been like, I know I saw your face on Facebook. I know I saw your video on YouTube. So yeah, you never know who you really reaching. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, I
Thank
enjoyed
y'all, man.
myself.
I
I don't have
appreciate it.
any
I
more
appreciate
questions for you. I
the
definitely enjoyed myself. And like I said, I got to
yeah,
make sure I start hopping on her. Definitely big shout out to B Hill. Like I say, from day one, he always supported me. He always supported others. And like I say, when you around people, that want the best for you, it turned into a domino effect. And like I say, it
yeah,
don't
I
feel like
appreciate
work.
it.
It just feel like,
Yeah, I appreciate it because
we
they didn't know
family and
me
we
from
doing something we
so
love to do.
yeah, I know it's genuine. Like, this platform is genuine because it wasn't about, hey, let me get in her business and see how many views she got and let me see what her motion looked like. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like, let me listen to your music, and they felt my spirit in my music enough to know that, hey, like, yeah, she deserved a chance. So I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, and like so because yeah, like I completely, because that's the whole thing with the platform and stuff is like it's all networking. That's why I don't be like charging people for nothing. I also like play people's music. I'll just, whenever I'm just chilling, I come up here, open the stream, I play my music, play people's music. I don't be doing no reviews. You know what I mean? I just be, because I look
Just
at
vibe.
it as like, since
Yeah.
I'm an artist, I'm not trying to review other artists' music, review like my peers' music,
Right.
because everybody probably just hate me.
Yeah.
Because
I feel you
I'll
on
be
that.
real, because
Because it's
me,
a
like,
competition to
yeah,
them. Yeah, it's a competition to them. So
yeah.
I get that. I get
So
that.
so how do
And
you feel
that's why
about
I don't do
how do you
none of
feel
a
about
lot of the
review shows?
yeah.
So do you
I
ever
mean,
send in your music to review shows,
I prefer to send my videos. I prefer to do the
videos?
videos. Yeah, because with my music is really, really good, but generally it doesn't match the vibe of the other music that's being sent in. Because I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
same subjects. So to me, it doesn't get as fair of a chance. But with my videos, unfortunately, um, my look catches people's attention and then they listen. But I don't care how I get your attention. I just
So
need it. So my videos go further
so
to me
so
than my MP3s do.
so whenever you make your song, with that being said, like whenever you make your song, do you like already kind of have like an idea, like the video? Like, are you making your songs and being like, all right, I'm gonna make this song, I'm gonna have this video, like you coming together, or do you know come up with the
So
video after the song?
my first projects, I'm gonna say yes. So my first project dropped around the same time that Beyonce dropped Lemonade, and she made a video to every song, and I saw how much buzz that had. So I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. So like almost every song that I dropped a video to. Almost every single song I dropped. So I have a really big collection of videos. Now I'm more into let's write a treatment. Let's really put a little more thought. It's about more than just being pretty on that camera. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to really put some thought process, and I have to show the side of me of okay, maybe she will be good in this movie role, or maybe I can see her. You know what I mean? So I started expanding to that, and I've started to get booked to just be the model in other people's videos, also, without me opening my mouth. So yeah.
So what about like do you feel like you like shine the most like as in the studio? Like are you like you like to be in the studio, come up with the songs, you know what I mean, engineering, all that type of shit? Or you feel like you're more of a performing artist? Like what you feel like do you like feel more comfortable on the stage or in the studio?
So I feel more comfortable both. I feel like though, again, with the mind frame that people are in when it comes to female rappers, I'm gonna have to start going the extra mile with my shows because I'm not gonna just stand up there and twerk the whole time I'm rapping. Like that's just really not me. So I gotta get them a little more on stage than the average person. So I use props and all kind of stuff. Like one time I went and got money printed with my face and all my social media on it. So the whole time I'm rapping, we making it rain money, but it's marketing
Mhm.
because people had me sign the money, people kept the money, like it became souvenirs for some people. So I kind of have to think outside the box with my stage performance, which
Yeah,
is a good thing because even the rappers that twerk and
definitely.
dance, if they on a big platform, they're doing dance routines, they're changing costumes. Like it's a lot that comes with being a female artist.
Yeah, it really does. Do you think you could do you think you can make it as a female artist without like taking the avenue and twerking, like you know what I mean, and stuff like that? Or do you
I
feel like
do
it's
because
kind of
there's
like
nobody
if
else not
if you're
doing
if
it. Like it's a market. Nobody else is not doing it. Like so, yeah.
yeah,
The reason why it's a market though is because you do have ladies that are 30 to 40 years old who they want to hear Meg the Stallion sometimes, but on an average basis, it's not even feeding the things that they're dealing with or that they're going through. It's not even reflecting what life is to us. So of course there has to be a
yeah.
voice to that.
And I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that because it's like, especially whenever you listen to female artists and like, but my whole thing is like this, like before is like people how they say that there's not that music's not good no more and stuff like that, but it's just because they're not taking the time to look for artists. You know what I mean? Like especially like me networking with artists, me playing people's music. I know that there's good artists out here, but if you choose just to listen to what's placed in front of you, then I can see you
Right.
getting played out like that. Because especially as a woman, because if you listen to popular women music right now, if you're a woman, it's all about just like sucking dick, fucking dudes, being a stripper.
Sit,
Like
breaking
there's
trees,
nobody talking about
getting a nigga for his,
like
yeah, it's nothing.
yeah,
They're not talking, nothing substantial. And it sounds
yeah,
good. It's good to dance
or
to. It's
even
good in the moment,
realistic
but
because
yeah,
yeah,
it's not. So
like
like you got to
nobody's just
think.
doing that all
If,
day.
no, bro. So like you got to think. If you're in a certain mind frame, Sometimes only a Tupac song gonna get that. If you in a certain mind
Mhm.
frame, sometimes a Biggie Small song is only gonna get that. But you have those options. But like in this generation, they got Sexy Red, they got Cardi B. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They have Mulatto,
Mhm.
which are great artists. But when you really going through some hard, tough times in your life, that's not the music you gonna reach back and reflect on. That ain't the music you gonna put
Nah.
on and just vibe out and ride out in your car. It's not. So
Nah.
somebody
Yeah.
has to give that back to our culture.
Yeah. Like that Lauren Hill, like that real, like you know what I mean? Because Lauren Hill did
Oh,
she was the good one, like for that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good
yeah.
women artists though, you know, and I know that there's a lot of good women artists out there, but it just sucks that the only ones that they get put in front of us are the ones that you know what I mean. It's almost like a bunch. It's
It's a
like
few, but it's
sheep. If
like
you don't,
unfortunately it's so cookie cutter though that a lot of people look and they say, "Oh well, Cardi B was successful doing that, so I'm gonna do it too." So you got so many
yeah,
artists, like you saying, it's kind of saturated because you got so many artists that's just trying to jump on that bandwagon instead of just being true to who they are.
yeah, yeah, and just like how you mentioned earlier about the shelf life, it's the same thing with that though, because if you're an artist, you're imitating what these other artists are doing, then you're putting a shelf life on
So
yourself.
it
Because if you
don't
don't get
last so
out
long.
in this time, then you ain't gonna be hot no more. You go sound like 2 years ago, and nobody, you know, and you just always go play catch up. Because that's what
Yeah,
people don't realize as artists. Like we're living in the future. You know what I mean? Like even like this interview, like you know, 2 years from now, this shit might be going. That's when people be, oh yeah, da 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 da, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
you
Like
don't know when something
it's
gonna
like even
catch traction. Yeah.
yeah, even with music, like the music that we're hearing right now, like is songs that these artists made a couple years ago. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
it's took that long for it to get through all the paperwork, through everything to get in front of us. You know what I mean? So as artists, we live in the future. You know?
that's true. Yeah, I would
So
agree.
so
Because like when I sit back and I'm like, oh my God, I've been rapping for like 5 or 6 years, and it seems like a long time to me. But like a couple of my songs that I made then are like just now getting like super, super hot. It's the songs I'm getting booked to perform now. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired of that song. But to a person who's never
yeah,
heard it, it's brand new. It's brand new to them.
yeah. And
So yeah,
and
music
it's
is
like this too.
timeless.
It's like it's think that there's a lot of artists that like people they talk about like one hit wonders, but I wouldn't mind even being a one hit wonder. Like like be like them artists where like like there's artists that just made one song and they still on tour for that song to this day. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I
Everybody
mean,
like they enjoyed the other songs, but everybody came really to hear that one song, and they gonna want you to do like an encore for it too because they had to listen to all your other shit for
yes.
it.
So like I'm super cool with Mr. Pookie. I'm super cool with Mr. Pookie. I ask him all the time, do you get tired of singing Crook for Life? I know you gotta get tired of singing Crook for Life. And he like, as long as they keep paying me, it's lay it down, I'm a crook for life. Every time I pop out, like he ain't tripping. He not tripping, bro. He like, I've been touring off that song for 25 years since. He like, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. So yeah, bro. You gotta get the people what they want.
It is.
Yeah.
So so what you mentioned like you want to do acting and stuff like that. So what kind of role would you be looking for in case there is like a producer, somebody watching this and they like your looking and so tell them what you're trying to look for. What kind of role do you see
Love
yourself as?
period pieces. I love period pieces. The Renaissance era is my favorite. I love the music from back then, the jazz and like the whole flapper era and the real
Oh
Betty
yeah.
Boop and Cotton Club. Like I love
Yeah.
that.
And they be all
I
dancing
love.
all
Yeah, that shit's
yeah.
crazy, bro. Like the costumes and like the creativity was like crazy because they
Yeah.
didn't have technology. They, you know what I mean? They couldn't fall back on auto tunes. Like they had to
Yeah.
really come on with it, and just to be
And
able to sing and dance at that level was
yeah.
amazing.
In the live instruments because back then like everybody had to get in the room together and they all had to
Yes,
record it together. It wasn't like how
you messed
you could
up. I hated
piece
if
it
you the one
together.
that messed up. Yeah, they have to
Somebody
start
sit
all the
there,
way
the
over,
drummer like, man, I did that shit perfect. You just fucked up your
bro.
little
You
saxophone
fucked it
solo,
up. We got
man.
to start all the way over from the top.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, bro, they
and
were perfectionists and they took their craft to a
exactly.
whole different level than what we do, bro. They have full orchestras and full bands and like, yeah,
hmm
dope.
Somebody sitting there
That
with
I,
the little triangle.
Yeah.
You know, be like,
And
this is
I'm a
my job.
sucker for musicals.
I'm
I'm
tired
sorry.
of
I'm a
work.
sucker for musicals. I'm a sucker for musicals.
Yeah.
I grew up with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and The Sound of Music. And like my parents made sure that they exposed me to other cultures and other types of music. So I would even like to do some Bollywood films. I love their musical arrangements and their dance routines and all that shit, bro. It's dope to me.
So if you could sum up in like a few sentences like what music means to you, what would it be?
Music is power and it's energy in those tones and those vibrations, and like it resonates to our soul in a way that nothing else can. You know what I mean? So I just want to harness that power within myself, and I'm just glad to have that creative freedom. You know, most artists, we really crazy, we really got some issues and we really crazy, and I'm just glad to have that outlet
Yeah.
to like release it and get that off my chest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because it is true. Because most artists are like, you know,
We're
if they
weird
couldn't
as
find
shit.
their little outlet, they would just be the crazy person. You know what I mean? Running around, everybody just looking at them like.
I mean, and then for me too, it's a way for me to show my kids that no matter what your age, what your stature, what you look like, you can achieve your goals. Nobody can take your dreams from you, no matter what age you are when you try to do them.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I'm
Do you
glad to
feel
have
like
music as that.
I feel like that's yeah, yeah, for
outlet.
sure, for sure. So, is there anything that you want to touch on? Anything you want to talk about before we wrap it up? Not rushing you. Just I just want to
No,
make
I
sure
know.
that you get
No, I
everything
know.
that you wanted to
I
say.
got a show tonight and everything. So like, I still got to finish, get transformed and everything. But what the one thing that I do want to say that I always make sure that I say in these interviews is to the young men, bro, y'all please stop trying to live the stuff y'all rapping about, y'all dying at an all time rate. It started with my generation, it started with Tupac, and it started with Biggie, and it's just like a domino effect. It's carried on, and it's like somebody got to be smart enough to know, hey, if I really want to do this music, like I got to be here to do it. I got to be here to do
Yeah,
it. Nobody gonna be able to carry your music on the way it should be if you're not here at the forefront of that. So y'all gotta start thinking outside the box. You do remove yourself from some of these situations. I don't care if you need to live in the studio for 2 weeks versus going out to the club or whatever it is. But like we gotta stop being statistics. Nobody gonna save us. We gotta save ourselves.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Cause us female artists, we fighting and throwing shoes in persons, but we ain't shooting and killing each other. We not dying behind it. We not digging up people's graves, and we not like y'all going the extra mile, and it's getting out of hand. It's crazy.
So, what would be your advice to the young women then?
The young women is like the same thing. Like all y'all ain't breaking tricks. All y'all don't like sucking dick. Like stop playing. Stop just rapping and saying that shit because you think it sound cute and everything. Like you don't even realize how much you're limiting yourself because you putting yourself in that box. So like
Yeah.
stop that. Yeah.
What would
It's
you?
okay to be
I so
it's okay to
so
be different.
so if you were given the opportunity to like go major, would you rather be independent as an artist or would you rather be major? And I know it depends on contracts and stuff, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying, basically like off of like, you know, because you
Yeah.
know whenever you become to a label and stuff, you can't just go and do anything you want. You really owned. That's why it's called you're signed, like because somebody owns you. Like you wouldn't
Well,
even be able to do this
for
interview
me, the
without
biggest
permission.
thing, for me, the biggest thing in the contract wouldn't just be the money; it's the creative freedom. I would still have to be able to have a certain level of creative freedom because it's just some shit I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna wear, I'm not gonna do. If it goes against my morals and my principles, and then like I said at the beginning, I'm a Taurus, I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna do that shit. So I mean, it's a contract. Anything can be negotiated if you
Yeah,
negotiate it. So
yeah,
I wouldn't have a problem with going major as long as they didn't try to turn me into somebody else.
definitely. And
Yeah.
I think it's dumb that they be doing that in the contracts and stuff. Because if they want to sign you as an artist, then like they should respect you as an artist, you know, and not try
Right.
to
And then my
control
thing
you.
is, you gonna cause me to lose my initial fan base.
Yeah.
Like I need them. Like they're the reason why you're even noticing me to sign me. So like they're important to me. They're not expendable just because you think we can get a bigger check. Because to me, it's
Yeah.
about longevity. We're gonna make more money in the long run than just for right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, major, I wouldn't mind. It would definitely open up a lot of the other doors that I'm trying to do. When I do branch off into TV though, I don't think I will be so much worried about music itself, but I'll always be involved in helping artists procure their checks. Like I'll never turn my back on that either.
That's what's up. So,
Yeah.
so I appreciate you being on here. Anytime that you got anything that you want to talk about, or got any new projects or anything, you're more than welcome to come on here. And I want to shout out Worldwide Collaborations, shout out Young Tizzy and Quality Music Management, and thank
So
you again for coming on here.
no, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be back. I'll definitely back. And I'll be on time the next time I come back. I'm getting better about that. So yeah, appreciate y'all.
All right, much love.
Much love.